I want you to listen to what Samuel Medas has to say because there's a message in his story. But before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. Now take a listen.
What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you guys a story, so listen. In 2019, Rhonda and I moved into this house. But we had an issue. We had to find a way to get water to all parts of the house. Upstairs, downstairs, to all of the faucets, to all of the showers, to all of the toilets. Which means we had to get a pressure pump. I had a limited knowledge of plumbing, and the contractor that built this house let me know that he had a limited knowledge of plumbing also. So we did what we could for as much as we could, and then the problem still wasn't fixed. He ended up bringing in a guy that said he was a plumber, and this man spent half a day here, could not fix the issue. I got frustrated, went and did some looking, some searching, some asking around. Finally found a guy who said he was a professional plumber. The man came here and in 10 minutes fixed the issue. Introduced me to something called a non-return valve. So he became my plumber now. But I noticed that even though water was reaching to all parts of the house, it didn't have a high pressure. It was in some case trickling, and then the pump would come on back and the water pressure would build up, but it was nothing substantial. So I told this man who was the plumber that I needed more pressure. He said I couldn't get any more pressure than this. Something about the pump being too small, some fancy thing he told me. So I spent real money on the pressure pump and the tank. So there was no way I'd go in and spend money again. And so for 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, I lived in a house with unsatisfactory water pressure. This thing would get frustrating. Sometimes you'd be in the shower and water will come to almost a standstill before the pump click and come on back and build up pressure. But the pressure still was not anything substantial. Then in January of this year, the pump stopped working completely. I did some check and realized that the switch, the trigger switch, it stopped working, and the gauge, the pressure gauge, stopped working. I took them out, went to Gaffur's, got replacement, come back, trying my little plumbing thing. The pump started working again, but the pressure problem remained. I got so frustrated one afternoon, I decided I'm going to YouTube and Google and learn any and everything there is to know about pressure pumps and see if I could fix this issue myself. Realized I had to go to the hardware store, buy a special screwdriver. I come back, took off the top of the sensor, saw some knobs started to titivate as I was watching my videos, made a whole lot of mistakes, but I finally got it right. Came down, went into the house, turned on the pressure, the tap, and water came with such pressure that I think the taps them in the house were surprised because they had never experienced such pressure before. And I realized that for 5 years, I was living in a house with unsatisfactory water pressure and forcing myself to be comfortable with it. All because I believed the word of a man that gave me misinformation. And this is how it is in life. We celebrate, we perpetuate, we propagate misinformation, not because we want to be malicious, not because we want to be evil, but just because we believed what we heard. And we believed the people that told us, even if they were not trying to be malicious and evil. But just because there was limited knowledge, sometimes the people that taught us, they taught us as far as they had knowledge. And we're stuck there, we're plateau off. And it wasn't until I decided that I would go and pursue knowledge for myself that my eyes were opened up. And then all of a sudden, what was given to me here, all of a sudden moved from a 3 to a 10. And now I'm experiencing an abundance. I'm experiencing a constant supply that I would have never experienced had I not gone looking. And the Bible says, study to show yourself approved. A workman need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And I pray for me and for you, all my people that I'm connected with on social media, that this would be a season when you are encouraged, when you are stirred up, when you are provoked to pursue knowledge. Pursue knowledge beyond what your pastor says. Pursue knowledge beyond what your teacher says. Pursue knowledge beyond what you hear people say, what you hear the newspapers say. Pursue knowledge beyond what you learn as a child. Everything is changing, everything is evolving, and even if this is not evolving, there are more truths that have always been there that we have not tapped into as yet. And your life will change when you begin to pursue knowledge. Look at me now. water pressure all over the place. And for 5 years, I lived without it because I decided that I can just take the word of somebody and not go and pursue on my own. Blessings.
This is some wisdom from this brother. And this is also how some of us live our lives without reaching the highest pressure, without reaching our full potential because somebody says we can't. We can't do this and we can't do that. Sometimes you can limit yourself listening to people. But unless you persevere and keep pushing and pursuing, you would never reach that highest pressure, your full potential. So pursue it.